So hi, Illinois podcast. I'm Shane.
I'm Glory.
Happy Monday.
It is.
It is. It is a Monday. It is a Monday. I've been to a couple of shows since the last podcast. We canceled last Monday. Did it over recording because I saw Tate McRae on Monday, and it was fantastic. Big Tate McRae fan. She was pretty fucking awesome. She played a good chunk of her new record, Think Later, and I had a fucking blast. I can't even lie. I like pop music from time to time.
You dabble.
What can I say? Yeah. But might be seeing her again. She'll be in Jersey next month.
Oh shit! What the fuck?
Doing like a radio festival charity type thing with Justin Timberlake headlining, but then he's headlining the same arena 2 weeks later. And I'll be seeing him.
Radius Clause?
Yeah, Radius Clause who?
What?
So I think that's weird, but I might be going to that because Tate McRae, Justin Timberlake.
Those are your like two favorite artists ever, right?
those are my pop vibes, So yeah, that was a good time. And then this past Friday, I saw Pollyanna, Late Waves, and Froggy up on the Asbury Hotel rooftop. That was that was a work event. It was a good time. I had been campaigning for Pollyanna to do a rooftop show for a little bit because we've got this rooftop space and I was like, we should do it. Last summer we had talked about doing it, and then this summer when the conversation came about of doing a hometown show because they're home for the rest of the year, I was like, let's do the rooftop. Let's do it. Let's finally do it. Fuck the weather problems, all that shit. Let's just full send it, do it. So I'm glad that we ultimately wound up doing it. Froggy was super cool. Late Waves great as always. I believe that was like my 10th time seeing them. I do work for the band, so it makes sense. But they were good, and then Pollyanna absolutely rocked it. They put together a great set. It's the longest set they've ever played.
Oh shit.
That's what Brandon told me today when we were talking about the show. But yeah, they absolutely rocked it. And we only had to cut one song because of time restrictions, so that was good.
It's not too bad at all. It means everyone was on time.
Yeah, because they were talking, and we were like, Matt and I were standing side stage like, yo motherfuckers, 10 minutes left, you got 4 songs to play, and there's a strict sound curfew at 10, so you better get this shit rolling. Exactly. So they did advertise playing Slime in Full, and ultimately had to cut Pixie. But that's all right. It's okay.
So it was a false advertisement, is what I'm thinking.
No,
so they lied
because we planned to play it, and it simply did not happen due to time restrictions. But
that sounds like something that would be in like I'd get a notification for in like MCR archive or something, where it's like the one show where Gerard Way promised to play all of the Black Parade, it got cut off. So this is officially the first time it's ever been played in full tonight, or something like that. So hopefully, Pollyanna plays it in full for the first time ever in like a fucking massive arena or something.
Well, they did play the record in full 2 years ago at the Slime album release show with no sort of set problems or sound curfews, but we were celebrating the end of the record cycle, plus we were having it filmed this time around, so we were like, we're gonna play it in full, and we got most of the way there.
Yeah. I mean, it's already been done once, so fuck my prediction then, I guess. What, man? Whatever, dude. Whatever.
But coming up, I'm taking a couple weeks from shows. Really nothing going on. We got the Labor Day holiday coming up, so we're kind of flipping into the seasons here with the touring calendar. My next show, I believe, is Falling in Reverse with Black Veil Brides, Dance Gavin Dance, Jeris Johnson, Tech Nine. So that's a super sick bill, and I'm very excited for that. We'll be chatting about the Jeris Johnson album here in a bit.
The Dance Gavin Dance set list is insane.
Yeah.
They play Synergy. by the way. Just a heads up. I know you were looking forward to that.
Of course. You
And
gotta
it
get me to
sounds
finally listen to
really
it.
good. Dude, and the first time you're gonna fucking hear it is live. It's
Yeah.
kind of pissing me off a little bit. But Rob isn't there, so you didn't win completely. They've never played it with Rob. Sorry. All this to say, setlist is insanely good. It has the new songs and all that shit. And Andrew sounds so good.
Yeah.
Like, so good. I'm very envious. All this to say, I'm pissed. I'm pissed at you. I'm angry. But happy for you.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I got coming up.
Mm-hmm.
You got anything? Well, you got the Silver Scream Con.
I do. I have Silver Scream Con, and the lineup was announced for that. It's
the tour.
Fucking tour, which is annoying. The tour being Ink in this moment, Avatar, and TX2. Happy I'm finally going to be able to see TX2. I've already seen in this moment Avatar and Ink on the same bill, like already.
Last fall.
Last winter.
Yeah,
it was November.
Winter, fall. Yeah.
You know, same fucking
touring seasons make it weird.
Yeah. So that's pissing me off a little bit because the big thing about the Silver Scream Con show is that it's unique and it's a lineup that no one's ever seen before or that they've never been on. So the fact that they just kind of like phoned it in with their tour package pisses me off a little bit, but at the same time, I get to see TX2. So
yeah.
Which I love. Fucking love him. No sarcasm. Genuine. But it's just still kind of like couldn't have been TX2 Inc. and 2 other artists?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's also in an amphitheater this time, only pit. It looks like was it Asbury Park Summer Stage?
Mm-hmm.
Where it's just kind of like a big stage and it's all floor.
Standing room.
Yeah. No, and that annoys me too, because another thing about Silver Scream is it's supposed to be a seated venue with a small pit.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just throwing everything away. They're just saying,
they're just saying fuck it.
Fuck it. So that's all I have to bitch about that. I'm excited because, it's gonna be a set list of all their hits, of all, their deep cuts, hits, whatever the fuck. But it's also like, god damn it, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I gotta sit through in this moment.
Again.
Like, and there's no flip-flopping.
There is no shot.
Maybe Ink will play before. No.
Hometown.
And I have to be there. I can't like walk away or anything because I have to stay in my spot.
Yeah.
So you're telling me I'm held hostage.
You're parked for that.
I really don't want to do that. I don't want to do that like at all, dude. I can't hear, what is it, whore?
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck it is. Let me be. I can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
I can't.
Song kind of goes hard.
See, maybe to you, but not me.
Well,
I hate
my problem with them. My problem with them is I like their studio stuff, but I refuse to get too deep into it because I'll be like, I'll give them another shot live, and every fucking time I've been like, this sucks.
This sucks. I just don't like her voice. Yeah. I think that's just my issue. It's too. It sounds forced. I don't know if that's the right word. It sounds like she's trying too hard to be theatrical, and it just gets annoying, and she's doing too damn much on that stage. Where did the fucking tower come from, Maria? Where the fuck did you pull that out of?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I hate it. I hate all of it, and I have to see all of it again. It was supposed to be one and done.
Yeah.
But I think that's my only. Oh, and then I have Camp Flogna, but that's in fucking November, so no one's even thinking of that right now. He hasn't even dropped the lineup, so that's another fucking thing to bitch about. So yeah, that's all I got.
That's good. Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we got some topics to talk about here. A couple of records, bunch of singles. You know the drill. Getting right into it here. MOTHICA dropped her new album, Kissing Death. We spoke with MOTHICA about the record. It is out now. You can go check it out. I was watching back through the interview, because it was recorded so long ago. I've gotten the editing down so much where I'm just like, I know, I make my notes. I don't have to watch through everything. I watch bits and pieces to figure out what I got to do, and it's still fresh enough in my mind. But that was recorded back in May. And
my hair was long.
And I was wearing my other glasses. And you can tell because we were talking about the album having 1 million streams on it already, where it's obviously far surpassed that. We were about 2 singles in. I believe Red was like the fresh single when we talked to her. So we were like 2 or 3 singles in. So I was watching through it and I was like, yeah, this was a good chat. This was a good time. So if you enjoyed this record, you like Mothica, you should check out our interview. We went pretty in depth on the album process.
The entire thing.
Yeah. Huge fan of this record. Big fan. You know, I'm a big Mothica fan. You could probably tell by the interview. But I'm a big Mothica fan. I enjoy her stuff. I liked her last record, and I've been patiently waiting for this one to finally come out. Pretty much since the last time we interviewed her, where she started talking about the next record, meaning this one, in that interview.
She always does it. It's so funny. It's great.
We even did that a little bit in this interview about the next record, but I think she was a little less along this time around because we had talked to her like 6 months removed from Nocturnal. So it's like Nocturnal Cycle is already like into full swing there with the record being out. So it's on to the next one. This was before Kissing Death came out, but I very much enjoyed this album. You know, she's got a lot of synths on here. As I said in the interview, Red kind of sticks out like the sore thumb of the rock song, and she obviously gives her explanation for it and how it fits in to the narrative. But sonically, it is the one that sticks out like a sore thumb because this album is so synth heavy. And just I'm here for it. I love the way it opens with The Void. It actually, like, I know it's only 1.5 minutes long, but it sets the album tone so well, and I really enjoy it as the opener and as a song, because it's just like it's that groove, and again it really sets the tone for you are getting a lot of synths on here.
Yes. And also it sets the topic of the album as well. Like, it is a perfect introduction, sound wise and lyric wise. She fucking crushed it with that. I love the album. First couple listens, it took me a minute because it's not the typical alt that I listen to. As you said, it's very synth heavy. So it's kind of like a mashup of your favorite pop artist, who I assume is still The Weeknd, right? Yeah, you know, give or take. Mixed with kind of like the moody, dark vibes that you like on that type of alternative music. So I was like, oh, of course Shane's gonna fucking love this. Now, my fourth listen of this album, it clicked completely. I was like, okay, I understand. It's a fucking vibe, dude. The entire thing. I've been so used to heavy music and fucking rock and fucking jazz rock and just shit that I've never listened to before, but it's still kind of in that realm of here's the 4 core instruments that you could hear, and that's about it, and we're just gonna jazz it up the way we do. Where this is just very technical, I guess, in the production aspect and the layering, and it is I mean, in the interview, I believe she said she made this to be kind of like a soundtrack for an album, a soundtrack for a movie. And I think with that in mind, it definitely helped it click a lot more, where it's like, oh yeah, this isn't its own thing. It's paired up with something else, which is another reason why she made it a visual album as well. Interview cleared up a lot of shit. And actually opened the door fully to, because, you know, I already enjoyed it, but hearing that and hearing her take and what she wanted the album to be definitely cleared it up and made me go, oh, okay, I can fully appreciate this the way she meant me to appreciate it, and I love it. I think it's great. My favorites are unfortunately singles, but again, it's kind of like
there were so many.
There were so many, and also they were singles for a reason. So I guess The Reaper is a fucking vibe, and I love it. I love Curiosity Killed the Moth. And then also The Void. I did enjoy The Void, even though, as we said, it's the opener, it's a bit shorter. I do think just how it kind of sets the tone, it's memorable, and I really fucking enjoy it.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, as I was saying, the Void is up there for me. Curiosity Killed the Moth. Toxins and Kissing Death are like, but I could sit here and say every fucking song, because each one's got a slightly different vibe to it. It really is this big eclectic piece, and it flows so well, like, and it's interesting that, like she said, the track listing is more of like the sonic flow, whereas the way the singles rolled out was more of the story flow, because like Doomed could have totally been the album opener, but it was the first single, which when we talked about it, we're like, this is a weird fucking single to lead up with, but it was setting the stage for the visual side of things, which was so heavily part of this rollout. But overall, I think she fucking knocked it out of the park. A visual album, quite the feat. But as I said in the interview, since the first time I had heard the idea, I was like, if anyone's gonna knock it out of the park, it's gonna be MOTHICA. So
100%.
I think this album is fantastic. Highly recommend. If you're a fan, if you're not a fan, I think it's a fantastic album and it should be checked out.
100%. And to say, when did we last interview her? Like before the last one? Was that 2021?
2022.
2020. We've been anticipating this record privately for 2 years, and it did not disappoint at all. And I am very, very happy with how it turned out. And I think she is too. Yeah,
and go see her on tour. She's headlining for the first time. EU and UK up first, and then the US. I'll be there. Philadelphia is on my birthday, so I will be there. Hell yeah.
Damn right. Damn right. Stand Atlantic dropped a new album, Was Here. We interviewed Bonnie from Stand Atlantic, and it was fucking awesome. You should go watch it. It was a great chat. We discussed, like the MOTHICA interview, we discussed everything about this record. We almost went track by track, but then it was kind of like maybe we should just, keep it to not surface level, but general shit.
We got a time limit.
Exactly. We have a little time limit on this one. If we didn't, we would have loved to, but we can't. This album is incredible. I know you have a lot more shit to say about it, so I'm just gonna get my couple little notes out of the way. I think the way that it opens is incredible, into Frenemies and then to Girls, which is still my favorite track. It was my favorite single. And after listening to the album 3 times, it is still my favorite track. It's so fucking good. I think they picked the singles very, very well. It makes sense. It sounds great. It flows incredibly. I'm gonna let you go ahead. This is like one of your fucking favorite albums.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Stand Atlantic. Getting to chat with Bonnie again was an absolute pleasure and was a great time. Been patiently waiting for this record to come out because we heard it early, and from the first time I heard it, I'm like, holy fuck, I want to scream from the rooftops about how great this record is. And luckily, actually had some other journalist friends that heard the record, and we were able to talk about the album a little bit. He had actually heard it before I did, so he sent me like his album of the year list like midway through, and I'm like, dude, like Stan Atlantic's on there, and I haven't heard the album yet, but I'm even more amped about the record. So I'm a big fan of the way it opens. Wake up, sit down, shut up. Really sets the tone for the record, but does give this implication that it's going to be like heavier, darker themes, which it is darker themes, but it's not this record. They toe the line a little bit more of like the heavier sound that they have been evolving and growing into, because the last record was very much like just we're a heavy band now, this record plays with that side a lot, but also reintroduces and expands on the pop punk sound that they had previously, as well as doing other things that we hadn't heard them do in the past, dabbling with some pop elements and things of that nature. So it really is the first time we've seen like a melting pot of sounds from Stand Atlantic, because it's really been like each record's kind of had this polar side of like the record is this. So that's been exciting, because you you didn't really get that vibe from the singles. Like the singles were all kind of like in the same lane of like pop punk, but had some heavy elements. Like that was basically like we were playing, you know, with heavier stuff. Like when you're gonna tell me Sex on the Beach, Killer, and Criminal are 3 of the singles we get, and the album isn't gonna have any other heavy stuff on it, like you're pulling my leg. Because like, you know, we were getting songs like that as singles. Obviously we got Love You Anyway and Girls, which are you know, total polar opposites from Criminal, but big fan of this album, as you can tell by the blabbering. I think it flows incredibly well because, you know, there are a lot of slower moments on this album. You know, they slow it down there for a little bit with Nosebleed and Love You Anyway after Freaking Out. But they waste no time in picking it up, and it's also like this, the songs have a little bit more of a flow, whereas the last time, you know, with, you know, my biggest gripe of all time, Drink to Drown, smack dab in the middle of Pink Elephant, I will never ever forgive that or forget about it.
It's been 4 years and we still bring that shit up, like in everyday discussion. We're like, at least they didn't fucking Pink Elephant it. It's so funny.
So like these songs, you know, are on the slower side, but do not slow the record down like that. So you're able to have a song like Kissin' Killer Cobras where it's just like it picks it back up and it's like no time was even wasted. So you get that moment, like moments like that. Really the slowest song on the record is the reprise / one take of 17, but it's like it's a minute and 30 and it just kind of fits it. You know, it's a very personal, emotional song for Bonnie as is. And then to really strip it back and like let it all out, you know, gives a new meaning to the song, and it, you know, it belongs on the record. I'm not going to harp on it because it doesn't slow anything down. I think the flow overall this time was a lot better. My favorites are Freaking Out and Kissin' Killer Cobras. I've been spending a lot of time with this record, but I've been spending a lot of time with those songs. The first time I heard Freaking Out, my mind almost exploded. I was blown the fuck away. But yeah, those are hands down my favorites. I still really like Sex on the Beach, despite it being a single fucking like 2 years ago. So yeah, wake up, sit down, shut up. I like that song, but I like this record as a whole. I think it's fantastic. They did a lot of different things on this album, and I think they all work. And overall, incredibly solid album. I'm stoked on it. I'm stoked for more. I'm stoked that they got that tour with The Day to Remember and August Burns Red, because holy fuck, those stages are massive. And just excited to see where this album goes, where it takes them, and to see them live off the back of it.
Yeah. Damn right. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
Jeris Johnson dropped his new album, Dragonborn. We also had Jeris Johnson on the podcast to chat about the record. It was a fantastic chat. Again, dove into the nitty gritty on the album. And I think Glory got very, very excited about the album after talking to Jeris.
100%. Listening to the record for the first time, it was a passive listen. It was just kind of on the sidebar while I was working, and I was like, this album is nerdy as fuck, and it sounds like he was having a great time writing it and a great time just building whatever world this is. And I was like, okay, I'm curious. I'm not like stoked on the album, but I'm curious on what is he doing here. After talking to him, as Shane said, our incredible discussion. One of my favorite interviews, recent interviews, I'll say. Holy shit, I wasn't wrong. He had a shit ton of fun on this. He is a Skyrim fan, as most people who game on their computers are, but me specifically, I've played that game like start to finish, like actually fucking beating everything at least like 30 times, which is embarrassing to the wrong people. Yeah. Embarrassing to the wrong people, but to him it felt like a connection where it was like, oh shit, you geek out about Skyrim, I geek out about Skyrim, that's fucking awesome. And immediately before I even spoke to him about that, I saw Dragonborn, I saw the fucking dragon, I saw the posy out in the front, I was like, oh, this is Skyrim. And I hoped he was going to own up to it instead of being like, yeah, I just thought it was cool.
Yeah.
But no, he got nerdy as shit in the interview. He has little figurines and shit that made me very happy. He won me over basically. Um Now listening through it a couple times after the interview with kind of seeing his excitement and how much fun he had creating the album and kind of his thought process while building it, it has made me love the album a million times more. Just listening to fucking Welcome to Valhalla is just so what? And then Eat, Drink, War is also one of the ones where I'm just like, this is just, you're just having fun. You are just having fun building this fucking world and you get to do it for a living. This is your job. You're just fucking around, being nerdy and actually putting it into music. And good for you, man. I wish I could fucking do that. That's fucking awesome. I love this album a lot. I think it is I think it's great. I really do.
Yeah.
I really like Siren Song and yeah, Finish Line's also incredible, the closer. I think it's a perfect closer. If you put it anywhere else, it would be incredibly out of place. It would be Pink Elephant, Drink to Drown.
It's also called Finish Line.
Yeah, and it works out so perfectly.
Yeah.
I love this album a lot, and I love how nerdy and corny and fun it is. And it's great. I want more music like this. Just people just fucking nerding out about shit that they like, because then it becomes a lot more personal and it feels like I'm actually learning something about you instead of like it's more fun on the fun side of writing versus here's all the bad shit that has happened to me recently and I'm going to turn it into something good. Where this is just I just want to have fun and make a fucking album about Skyrim.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
awesome.
because he had said, in the interview that like he doesn't necessarily use music as like the outlet for his emotions. He uses it as an outlet to like do what he did with this, which is why we spent a lot of time on Finish Line, because Finish Line is that song where he used his music to let out the emotions. But yeah, the album I thought was fucking awesome. Again, just that world building, like just seeing the name and the cover art, I'm like, this is gonna be fucking badass. And one of the songs on the record being Welcome to Valhalla, like come on, like you're kidding me with this. And the outfits in the music videos, because I've seen some of the music videos, because they're just everywhere. Like When the Darkness Comes is, he said in the interview, but it's very obvious on streaming, quickly rising to be like his number one song.
Yeah.
So that music video clip was all over my timeline around the time that song came out. So, I was, stoked on that track, and I was like, I'm gonna have to follow along, because full transparency, I saw Jeris open for Korn, and I thought it was corny as shit and also not great, but had heard of Jeris basically since he started putting out music, because he made such a big splash with Damn blowing up the way it did, and then doing a bunch of those Reloaded things, mainly that Papa Roach one, Last Resort, which I think we talked about and just completely shat all over. So but I was kind of into the brand that he had with that last album, and I thought I never checked out the record in full, but he played a good chunk of it on that Korn run. So I thought that there were a couple of good songs on there. So I was like, I'll be paying attention from a distance. And then when he put out When Darkness Comes, and the song isn't on the record, but the one with Battling My Demons, I know it's like kind of a meme song because it's got the SpongeBob AI, but like that song, that got me paying attention to him all the way, because it is so it's so catchy. Like I know it doesn't fit anywhere on the record, but I wish it was on here, because I spent a good chunk of the beginning of the year listening to that song, and I spent a good chunk of the end of last year listening to the TikTok snippet on repeat, because I could not get enough of it.
You sent that shit to me and you were like, dude, I know this is supposed to be like a joke, but this is fucking incredible. And I was like, wait a minute, why did he actually make a great song with this? It was insane.
Yeah. So I was sat, once these started to come out, and I'm glad that I gave him a second chance, because this is nothing. Well, it's obviously got, as he says, like made it like Jeris in a way, where it's like still doing the things that he was doing on the last record. He's still got the beats and the synths and the rapping and things like that, but it's a little bit more metal focused this time, which is obviously what I'm into, and why I was like, I'm gonna give this one a shot. But I'm glad that I did, because the first impression wasn't the best, but I'm glad that I ultimately gave it that second chance. So if you're like me, where you're like, I don't know about this guy after the first record, definitely give this one a shot, because it is a super solid record. Big fan of When the Darkness Comes, a big fan of Down with the Dynasty, big fan of Not a Person in parentheses Freak, really like Eat, Drink, War, Repeat, love Welcome to Valhalla. I could sit here and name all of the songs, but those are the ones where I was listening through it on my way home from work today, giving it that one last listen before we went live, and those were the ones I came away with, like, those are the standouts for me. But the entire album front to back is fantastic.
Damn right. I completely agree, 100%.
Hell yeah. Someone in chat said, came for San Atlantic, stayed for the hot durger. Yes. And then any songs that we didn't like at first but changed our minds after a couple of listens in regards to the San Atlantic record. For me, I'm gonna go singles, because I was pretty sold on the record. It's got to be Girls and Love You Anyway.
Holy shit, you doubted Girls?
I doubted Girls. I was like, this one, because we were coasting there for a while, where I was like, they're heavy again. Like they're just continuing on with Fear. Like we had gotten, at that point, it had been Killer, Sex on the Beach, and Warzone. So then to get Girls and then Love You Anyway after that, I was like, damn. So yeah, that's for me, but it wasn't like it took a million listens. It was just like that initial shock, mainly with Girls, where it was like, okay, I thought we were staying the course with Fear. That initial shock for me.
I think mine was probably Nosebleed, featuring Sueco. Mainly because I was hesitant, because I wasn't the biggest fan of Sueco. Just in a couple songs on and off that I've listened to, I've kind of been, I don't know, nothing's really hit me yet with him. It's kind of just been like okay. So seeing that feature and then listening to it, I was kind of like, I don't know about this one, guys. I mean, your part sounds great, but I don't know about this other guy. But after kind of like my third and fourth listen of it, it did grow on me, and I do really like his part. I like the whole song, and I fuck with it.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Bless the Fall and Alpha Wolf dropped a new single, Drag Me Under. Oh shit, this is a little embarrassing. I did not realize that I was wearing their shirt.
Big Alpha Wolf fan.
I think they're just okay.
Yeah.
I don't know, their album was mid or whatever. It's definitely not on my album of the year list. I think the song is fucking insane. I think it kicks off with just fucking cracking your jaw. And I think Lockie sounds fucking awesome. I love his screams. He has this like snarl in his scream, and it is so, you could fucking pick it in a crowd. It is so him. And I don't know. I really like the single. I liked it a lot.
Hell yeah. This track is fucking awesome. Definitely picked up on that Lockie feature immediately.
Oh my god.
Can't hide him. That's for goddamn sure. It don't matter how far back you bury him in the mix, you can pick him out of the crowd of a million, because he's just got those vocals. But stoked for another Bless the Fall track. It's been a minute since they came back with the return with the first the first single in a minute. So stoked for another one. And stoked for hopefully more. They're going out with Polaris, so I'm expecting more, but they also did that tour last year. I mean, it was an anniversary tour, but they did that tour last year with the one new single. So Anything's possible, man.
I feel like if they're doing features to me reads album.
Yeah.
Like I don't think people rarely drop just standalone singles that have a feature. I don't know, because it's so much power. Why wouldn't you just put that into an album to kind of crank up the streams a little bit because you have two fandoms in one? So I would hope so.
Yeah, I'm hoping
I
so
hope so.
too. I'm patiently waiting for new Bless the Fall. Stoked on this track, stoked for more.
Damn right.
Catch Your Breath dropped their new single Ghost Inside the Shell. I think that this track is pretty fucking sick. Big fan of Catch Your Breath. Got really hooked on their record from last year at the start of this year. Took a couple of months of marinating and being distracted by a million other releases to come back to it, but I'm a big fan of them. I enjoyed the record. I'm excited for more.
Damn right. Yeah, no, I fucked heavy with this. I do enjoy a bit of Catch Your Breath. And I thought this song was great.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Sky McKee dropped a new single, Broken Beyond Belief. Welcome back, Sky.
Hell yeah. Welcome back, Sky. Was really weird one day coming home and him being like, I signed a record deal and here's my first song.
Yeah, just out of fucking nowhere. He said something to the Discord. Join the super whatever Discord if you haven't. I mean, I don't know. Join it, right? No, because super whatever's back.
Yeah,
surprise.
Yeah, that was announced today.
Yeah, it's fucking so much is happening. And he just randomly said, "Hey, I got a record deal accidentally, so I guess I'm dropping music now." Hearing this is exactly what I thought he was going to be doing. So I wasn't expecting super whatever, anything rock. I was expecting very stripped back, almost singer-songwriter vibes. And that is exactly what he did. I think this is really good. His voice brings back so many memories, and it makes me very nostalgic because super whatever was a big part of my music when I was, 4 years ago. So it's very nice hearing him again on something new, and I'm very excited to see what he has up his sleeve.
Yep. And Sky was one of the first artists that gave us a shot with an interview, sat down with us, listened, allowed us to do an interview when it was still the three of us. We were disorganized, jambled, had the patience, and then came back again to chat with us about the song he did with Mark Hoppus. So always big love for Sky. Always support the music, whatever he's doing. We haven't heard much from him since Super Whatever had disbanded, although now they're back. That was announced today. So this song is exactly the vibe I was expecting from Sky. And I am stoked on it. I'm hoping that, the record deal means an EP or something and not just singles. But honestly, at this point, I'm just glad he's back and dropping music because I've always been a fan of his art. So I'm stoked for more.
For sure. I'll take anything.
Yeah.
I'll take anything.
Blink-182 dropped a couple new singles, All in My Head and No Fun. These are coming off of One More Time Part 2. The deluxe edition to the already massive track list of One More Time.
Christ, dude.
So yeah, we're getting more tunes, more Blink-182 tunes, man.
Maybe too much too soon. I don't know, guys. Maybe take it back a couple notches, right? Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just a hater.
I liked. I think we both kind of enjoyed the record because it's Blink-182.
It's Blink-182. Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
I think it's just funny hating because they're one of the biggest bands ever. So I think they need that,
The album was very much unapologetically Blink-182 at certain points.
Yes.
So yeah, it's cool to see them back. They're back with more. I thought these songs are cool. Again, they've got the vibe from the record, which is just they have their sound. The sound is the sound is pop punk, but the sound is Blink-182. And these songs are Blink-182. So overall, I think they're incredibly solid, and I'm stoked for this part too.
What I'm very happy about with these singles is that Mark and Tom DeLonge, there you go. Tom is finally doing his little nasally voice again. That was one of my problems that I had with the record, where it was kind of like he did it for like two of the singles, and then he just sounded like a normal dude for the rest of the record. And I was like, who the fuck is this man? That's not his voice.
Yeah.
That's not his. So for these singles, it seems like he was able to flip that switch back on, and he sounds like himself again, or what I know him to be. Obviously, well, not obviously. My favorite record by them is their self-titled. I think the one that has violence and blah blah all that shit. So he's very nasally and his iconic voice on that one. So hearing the record when it first came out and being like, where the fuck is his voice? It's great to hear it on these, and I hope if they continue releasing more singles or B-sides or whatever, he continues that and he doesn't fall off again, because I missed it.
Hell yeah.
State Champs dropped 2 new singles, Silver Cloud and Too Late to Say. State Champs, I love you. I know I did have a State Champs fucking moment when I was younger. Holy shit. This is just a nostalgic ass playlist this week, I think, because I'm like, oh wow, I remember when I used to listen to you guys when I'm happy that they're doing a rollout. I'm very excited to see what they have planned. I think that these tracks are incredible. They're very clean, matured pop punk songs. I think it's fucking incredible. I think they know what they're doing. They have that shit down, and they're in their stride, it feels like, with these songs. So I'm very excited. They're really good.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, in the same way that Blink-182's pop punk is Blink-182, State Champs pop punk is State Champs.
Yeah.
This is exactly what I expected when I heard that new State Champs music was on the way. So yeah, I think these 2 tracks rock. We've got a self-titled album coming out in November and a tour off the back of that in November with Knuckle Puck, Daisy Grenade, and Meet Me at the Altar. That's a fantastic lineup. If it's coming near you, you should go to the tour. But I'm excited for this album. State Champs, they typically do me no wrong.
Yeah, damn right. Let's go State Champs.
Hell yeah. Attack dropped their new single, We All Meet Up in the End. I think that this track is catchy. Good old Attack, good old modern Attack. I think the song is solid, and just hoping for more at this point, because we've been getting a lot of singles.
Yeah, I liked this track a lot, and with the beginning, it sounds like something could have been on the Jeris record because of just how theatrical and kind of piratey, I guess it is. I don't know how to describe it, but just that little beginning before they even start, singing or playing instruments. So I liked that a lot. I like when shit sounds out of the ordinary and shit's weird and it's a cool little intro. I liked this track a lot, and this might be my favorite single that they've dropped. I don't know, it clicked.
Hell yeah.
It clicked. Magnolia Park dropped a new single, The Void. They took like a little break, didn't they? It's been a while since we've spoken about them.
Yeah, they're not dropping singles like what feels like every fucking week anymore. No. Or at least so far, Lord only knows when it gets time to be
starting up again.
Be the album. But they were playing this song on the summer school tour. Yeah, they were the only band, I guess, technically playing an unreleased song, because most of the bands were touring off of records that were either out or coming out, so they were just playing singles, and if the album was out, maybe you'd get some deep cuts like Scene Queen and the home team, whereas Stan Atlantic was still waiting for the album to come out, so they were playing the singles. Magnolia Park, there is no announcement of an album yet or anything. They're just touring. They're just touring because they've got so much new music out that is like less than a year old, so might as well.
Why the fuck not?
So they had put out that single Shallow, and then they were playing this one, and it finally came out. I think the song is fucking cool. I've liked I'm liking the little bit of like a sonic shift that we're getting, because it was like very much like pop punk, whereas like it's still pop punk, but it's not it's a little bit it's just not so much like the Blink-182 pop punk, where it's like 2 minutes, you're in and you're out kind of vibe that we were getting from them for so long. These are a little bit more drawn out feeling songs.
Yeah, and they're heavier as
Yeah.
well, which is a nice shift. I always fuck with Magnolia Park. I think they're incredible. It is a great group of artists. I love the song a lot, and I agree. I like the sonic shift as well. I like the heavier Magnolia Park. I really do. I think it fits them so much better. It's incredible.
Hell yeah. Origami Angel dropped their new single, Wretched Trajectory. I am so beyond excited for this upcoming Origami Angel album. I think that this song is fantastic, and I am stoked for more.
Damn right. I love Origami Angel. I need the album in my inbox. Please.
Please. Need to hear it now.
Please. Kingdom of Giants dropped a new single, Bloodworm.
This track is fucking sick. I am very excited for this upcoming Kingdom of Giants EP. I think that this track is fucking awesome. And, you know, we got an EP on the way, so I am definitely excited for more because I know there's more coming.
Exactly. I liked this a lot. I thought it was fun. You know, they had a lot of little moments where I was like, ooh, ear candy. I like that a lot.
Hell
Good
yeah.
ass song.
And Silverstein, for the last topic, dropped their new single Skin and Bones, finally getting a taste of what they recorded in Joshua Tree that they had been teasing for so long, hoping, you know, that this means an EP, an album, something more. But yeah, I think that this song is fucking awesome. Big fan of Silverstein. Stoked for more. Been jamming this track a little bit over the weekend in between the Stan Atlantic album listens. So very excited for more.
Damn right. I feel like my brain is finally ready for Silverstein because this track clicked so hard. And I was like, oh my God, have they always been like this heavy and melodic and kind of beautiful? I really like this track a lot. Silverstein, I'm very excited. I don't know. Whatever. I'm good. I'm good with whatever.
Hell yeah. As I said, that's all the topics we have today. You can follow us on Twitter. It's Good Noise Cast. Instagram is Good Noise Podcast. Facebook is Good Noise Pod. TikTok, Good Noise Podcast. YouTube, once again, Good Noise Podcast. Audio streaming services, Good Noise Podcast. Patreon.com. It's patreon.com/Good Noise Podcast. Glory's got your Patreon supporters, Twitch subs, your important plugs, your merch plug, and your Amazon storefront plug. And then we're going to sign off.
Check out our merch. It is goodnoisepodcast.creator-spring.com. Check out our Amazon storefront. It is in the description. Go check out something if you want to see the equipment we use, if you want to see the mic, camera, whatever the hell, you can buy it. We get a little cut from it, and that helps us continue the podcast. That would be awesome. Thank you to our Patreon supporters, Matt from Pulses, Zari, Jeremy, Pop Punk Apologist, David Arrington, and Eric. And thank you to our Twitch subs, Coastal Over, and then Matt again from Pulses. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Important plugs: Black Lives Matter, Stop Asian Hate, Free Palestine, Ceasefire Now, and support small bands, and be a decent person.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, that's all we have today. I've been Shane.
I've been Glory.
And we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.